All right. So, Mattia, tell me, what is conceptual reality? Let's make a recap quickly.
Conceptual reality. I'm not sure, but conceptual reality, I think it's our reality, how we make it, how we see it. Basically based on our beliefs and our thinking and our feet. It's basically what we see subconsciously, and it also becomes our reality.
You have a brother, right?
Yes, more of them.
Yeah, okay, choose one. Choose one brother and tell me, is he rich, poor, or middle class? Choose one.
Simon.
All right. Is Simon rich, poor, or middle class?
It's somewhere between. It's not middle class. It's lower, but yeah, it's middle class, lower middle class.
Okay, so conceptual reality. Can he be rich?
With this kind of thinking, no.
Conceptual reality. Can he be rich?
No.
5 years from now, 10 years from now, in the future, is there?
Well, yes, you can be whatever you want.
Exactly. So I'm just going to add to the pile. Everything you said is correct. So, but you need to, talking about working on ourselves. Me as Mattia, I need to remember that conceptual reality explain what you said is correct, but it goes further down and it explains that in the future there are different Mattias right now. In the future, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, there are different Mattias, in living different realities as a potential. You have really a poor Mattia, broke, no money, living on the street. The wife has left him, no children, broke. Then it's the middle class Mattia, and then you have the rich Mattia. You have the Mattia with the 5 houses, 2 Porsches, and a yacht.
Yeah.
And everything is there it's there right now, but it's as a possibility, and this is why, because we can behave in 1,000 different manners today. And then you said what you said, this explains why, it's our life, it's a construct, it's really an illusion. Because if I start to behave differently in some aspects, I'm going to have a totally different future. And then we talked about different examples, like, okay, I'm spending everything that I'm making, so how it's my future there? Well, it's middle class or poor. But if I start saving what I'm making, so if I'm not spending, I'm saving 20, 20, 40, 30, whatever percent, then the future, I'm the same person, but my future is going to be totally different. So try to remember this every day when you work on yourself, that really, we do live in our reality. It's a concept, it's a construct based on how we feel, how we think, what we do. And then we talked about, okay, what are we feeding in the subconscious mind? We said that we are feeding 2 different realities simultaneously, every second and every day. So we're feeding the subconscious mind and we're feeding the environment, right? Okay, from the last class to today, did anything change? Did you work on yourself? Or did you do any more homeworks, whatever?
Yes. So what I tried to accomplish. So what the homework from last time was find the feed for disappointing people. And the homework was also decide what you want, like a goals, big plan.
Yes, sir.
We already talked about this yesterday. And if also if I want decide if you want to pay the price. So what I tried to do was like I tried to go with Tom Hubert kind of principle. He kind of writes the problem on the paper like example, why are you afraid of losing money? And just write everything what you think down. Example. I do this with why am I afraid of disappointing people? So I write some text here,
Very good.
and it's kind of I try to find where it all begins, all this thinking, and I went like from college to as far as I could remember. So the one point is what, like I already talked last time, that it was expectations from my father, like don't be like my older brother or something. But this kind of like I want to be the not the best but good person, not good person. I don't like I remember myself in kindergarten, or how do you say? It's
Kindergarten?
before the school.
Yes.
I have just small memories.
Mm-hmm.
Kindergarten. So I meet there my friend that we are friends also now. I have just fractures, and I know that we are fixing the toys already at this stage. So many other people were destroying it. Me and my friend were fixing the toys. So, and I don't know. So does this idea of being or look good or do not disappointing people starts here or starts later? That that have so many consequences, basically, because I don't see that maybe there was not some significant event before this. I don't know at which stage we can remember or that affects us. And yeah, I think it develops later in middle school, like when we start working more and more, and this pressure from parents maybe, and then it was just potential. And also I was good at many things, and also a lot of people see that this, and also was like, oh, Mattia is good, like girl for everything. He knows everything. He know how to do everything. This is the good boy. I was kind of good boy, like kind of
Yeah, kind of
on
saint.
general in village.
Saint. You are the saint.
Yeah, and but I didn't see myself as a farmer the last couple of years, and so I was declining on this area. And maybe also this is it's worse and worse because I was there on my peak, like everybody think like I'm perfect, I'm good, I everything. But now because I step away like this, I was kind of I'm not good anymore. I'm like just normal city people who walk dogs, and maybe it starts developing later then. And also I also think a lot of like there was stages in my life where I was kind of good performer in like climbing, motorbiking, flying. I was very active, and also basically also my body, I feel very strong. And so I didn't feel them, but I see that I was at some stages. And I always saying like, oh, back in time I was this and this, back in time I was that and that, back in time I was this, and I am never on the same level before. And it's thinking that I will also never be at the same stage as before. So this is my self-disappointment, maybe, that I didn't keep the same level, the same. So if I go climbing now,
Are you still doing this today with yourself? What you just described? It's another feed. It's super cool.
mm-hmm.
We identified one more. I mean, you identified, but I'm asking you: are you doing still today with yourself? Are you still feeding yourself like, oh, in the past I was better. In the past I was
Yeah,
more.
I do this constantly.
Right.
on some stuff.
Can you describe the feed? What are you telling yourself?
It's like, let me think. Oh, example, when I exercise, oh, this is so hard. I used to do this with easy, kind of, but it was never easy. But it's just, when you were good at something, and then you start doing after years something again, and you are not on the same stage. You are kind of.
What about life, finances, profession? Are you feeling
The,
also?
the profession, no, like my salary is increasing drastically through the years, and also I'm working on it. Like this was my goal. Like, don't be quiet, just save for the rise, be productive. Like I tell myself that I will not be like on the previous job. This is not the problem. Only problem is maybe the loss of this crypto. Maybe it still hurts me. It still affects me. I see that I still have.
What about so salary is good and professional you're happy. What about success in general? Are you feeling, oh, I was successful 5 years ago, I was more successful 2 years ago?
Yeah, I don't feel successful in general, if I'm honest. Yeah.
Sure. But what are you feeding every day?
That
So
I'm maybe that I'm kind of like putting all this money and effort somewhere, and there is nothing to show, and maybe this kind of feeling like I don't see any progress, or I spent 2 years for learning something, and I don't see.
the interesting part is what you said. It's good. The interesting part, are you adding, oh, it was easier in the past? Like, oh, I'm making all this money, all this effort, and there is no result. In the past, it was easier. Today it's hard. Today life it's harder. In the past it was much easier. Something like that.
Nothing. This is just exercising. Maybe it's not on the life on general, but it was it was easier in middle school, where I don't have any worries, and I was just like going to school and free time. But
Okay, so this is your homework. Try to get more. So I'm telling what you told me, right? So you're doing this with yourself. Now try to identify, try to get more conscious. If you're thinking about the past, that you're more successful, easy money, more money, better professional, whatever may be the case.
like general profession, money, everything.
Sure. And especially pay attention if instant results gets this trigger. You're expecting instant results and you don't get it. And if this triggers the feed, right? Oh, I was smarter in the past. Life was easier in the past. I made more money in the past. I was a better investor in the past. I was a better trader in the past.
So do you mean like the trigger, like instant results right now?
Instant results would be the trigger, to this is basically homeostasis talking to you. But with the purpose, still we're trying to identify the feed.
Yeah, I think so. One thought coming to me right now is like when I just start Forex course to I just have some Fibonacci strategy, or It was just something, and it was kind. I just event something. I made 2 consecutive months like 5 and 6% profit, and from this stage on, I never make any significant like 2 months profitable at this stage. Never again. And I was sometimes I'm thinking like, well, what if I wouldn't change this strategy, the first one, that I wouldn't listen everybody, that I would just listen myself? What would happen? So this is maybe the thinking that comes sometimes.
Absolutely, absolutely. Okay, so try to get more conscious about, because if you find that this feed would explain a lot. I mean, makes sense about everything. You already know the behaviors and everything, but like life in general, you know, and profession and bigger aspirations, really, you know. So just maybe there is not, right? Try to catch yourself thinking, you know, about maybe comparing past to future, whatever. Everything starts with your parents anyway. Talking about strategies, are you judging yourself sometimes? Oh, how stupid I am! I shouldn't change the strategy. How stupid I am! I shouldn't listen to other people. How stupid you are! Yes.
Yeah.
That's a feed, man. That's a feed. So tell me, what are you telling yourself?
The last feeds was like I just need sorry, before I continue I need to write it down something.
Sure.
Because I will forget otherwise. Okay, sorry. Because if I don't write, I will forget, because some feeds coming in between, and I don't want to forget them.
All good.
One of the feeds like are how I'm so stupid that I am not making this working. Like how hard could it be that I'm not making it? Am I fucking stupid that I cannot make this 2% per month? Kind of this. And also sometimes I'm blaming to listen others, also you sometimes, about the strategy, especially the first one like Fibonacci. And it was because also if I present to you or somebody else the strategy and you make opinion only on 1 hour of presentation or something, and like you make this strategy doesn't make sense, and I make opinion on that, and then I just throw the strategy away and start doing over again. So I think that this is not really the right way, that the opinion of one people on just quickly seeing the strategy, maybe it's not, I think it's more deeper look to make like opinion to just clearly throw away the strategy.
Excellent.
And
anything else from the book you wrote?
You mean about this feed, about
yes, about any feed, you know? Is anything else did you find out?
So I was identifying the same behavior also in the fifth and sixth grade, like I was training. How do you say training? Sporting. I was in kayak club.
Sure.
We have like exercises, and I was usually just stopping the cars to go on the exercise or come back. I didn't want to bother my parents to come for me, and I was kind of waiting even 1 hour that the car will go by and stop me and to get home. So this kind of behavior was like disappointing people was way back, and I didn't find some trigger. It's just parents and me, like this connection, and not to be like my older brother. And
Or good,
this
good, man.
this
You're doing
dynamic,
better than most of people. Don't worry now.
yeah. This so right now my connection, my thought was also um, like like we said this if I am regretting to listen somebody, sometimes I do like right now I have problem with GBP CHF because um, I close the trades that make sense for me, and of course they're going in my direction, and I'm like, why are you listening to other people? Why don't you listen yourself? This kind of. But when I lose on something that others tells me, I was like, well, they tell you to do this and you didn't, so you did lose now. So it's like you say, there must be clear rules and you need to follow them. And
Okay, so I want to write down something because
okay,
and be aware every day, right? Write down,
okay,
I am judging myself.
yes.
Are you aware that you're judging yourself? But first of all, Mattia, what is judging?
Judging is basically kind of if you do mistake, why did you do it? And you are kind of, why did you do this? And
exactly, are you doing the same for the winners? Why did you do this, or is just for the losers?
it's like more on losers, or even not more on losers. It's even bigger for not in a trade and that I was right. Like example, I see something and I didn't enter based on opinion on others. Example, and I see that my idea was correct, and this is even bigger pain than if I get a loser and that I didn't listen to others.
But but you're judging on something negative, right? There is not you're not saying, oh, good me, I'm good, and why did you do this? Good, I need to figure out what I'm doing good. You are more on the
Why are you not in the market?
Exactly.
There is a next opinion can be in next month. You don't know, so why are you not in the market?
So if we are judging ourselves of the negative side, would you say that this is a winner attitude or this is the victim attitude?
Bad.
Victim. This is a victim mentality, right? Judging myself on the doubling down the losers. Why do this? What's wrong with me? Why I'm so stupid? And on. Okay. So you can write down that I'm feeding a victim mentality. So I'm judging myself and I am feeding a victim mentality?
I should focus more on positive.
We're getting there. We're not there yet.
Okay. Okay. Sorry.
There is one big question in between, which is the next one, talking about, are you ready to pay the price? But just work on yourself, just be aware that you are judging yourself in general, your life. Even if you are good, if you have a good job and make a good salary and you travel and you go on vacation, still judge yourself and try to get aware that you have this. You are not doing this on purpose, but the consequence of judging yourself, it's you live like a victim.
Yeah, and you are
The bigger
depressed.
goals, on the hard goals, on the bigger aspirations.
Yeah.
Just be conscious, like, like, oh shit, I'm doing this again, I'm doing this again. And,
Yeah, I agree.
Now,
so
what
this
about,
is the
yes.
Sorry.
Oh,
This is the so last time we find out that I'm afraid of success.
Sure.
And now this is then that I'm judging yourself. This is then
this is why you are afraid of success.
This is basically
it's all connected.
Okay,
it's all connected.
It's the same problem. Okay.
What about the price? Are you ready to pay the price?
They're just so I was right. I write here, it's like, am I willing to be criticized? Well, yes, I think it's totally worth it. With working on myself, I can overachieve that. I don't know if I can live with me giving up on trading or myself. Thinking of,
yes.
Even if I think about it sometimes, even if it's hard, it's totally worth it, because the reward after, it's nothing compared being uncomfortable.
Now, the difficult question is, and if you cannot find the answer, it's going to be a homework. Boss, how do you know that you are ready to pay the price and you're willing to be criticized? How do you know?
Based on the pain.
Explain.
What?
Yeah, let me explain to you. Now, this is
based on the pain. The pain shows you how. Or
explain the pain.
My pain.
Sure.
I'm so like, I'm constantly in circles now. Failure, and I don't feel even good about myself. I didn't feel good about my life. It's not the way I want to live like this. It's I see myself when I'm trading also. It's like how hard I want to make the money. Like, it's like I would go there and lifting 100 kilos just that the trades will be profitable, but I cannot do this, and I'm in a mess, basically. I'm in deep shit right now, I think. So I need to climb out.
Sure, but explain the pain.
This is the pain.
Let me help you.
Yeah.
You have like everybody else, so it's not personal. We have our father figure that it's criticizing us and it's bullshitting us and have the expectations, don't be like your brother, and it's never enough, you're not good enough, and the expectation is, oh, you should know what your father is thinking about, so it's criticizing, and of course homeostasis says, oh, I don't like it. I hate my father figure. This is the mechanism that protects the self-esteem. Makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
So it's normal that then we fight and we do different stuff in life, and then we grow up and finally we stand in front of our parents and sometimes we fight, whatever, you know. But in homeostasis is, oh, I don't like it. I don't like being criticized. I hate being criticized. I've been criticized for 20 years. That's the defending mechanism. So that's why I'm avoiding people. I'm not taking the necessary steps. Maybe I'm not taking the whatever might be the case because I don't like being criticized. Now, are you ready to pay the price? It's an intellectual exercise, and everybody who is reading the books, oh yeah, I'm ready to pay the price because it's worth it. Well, this is an intellectual answer. Because in one side, I hate being criticized for my father, and here I'm telling the coach, oh yeah, no big deal, let's be criticized.
Yeah, it's not so easy at the end.
Unless, I mean, you use the great word, okay, oh, I know I'm ready because of the pain. Good, now explain me the pain. I can define like, oh yeah, this is genuine emotion, or oh, it's still mental. Because again, this is not maybe the answer for 1 minute. We need to think about, because if I am too much just intellectual, then I'm going to say yes, like in the past, I'm going to say yes, I'm going to do it, yes, I'm for real, but then I'm not going to do it. And how do we know that we are genuine? It's by acting. So if there's no right or wrong anyway. Some people says, no, I don't want, I'm not like Geraldo, I'm not ready to pay the price. Good. But some people say, okay, I am ready and I'm ready to be criticized. Okay, now you need to stand up in front of your father and be criticized again. So some people do once or twice and they quit, they stop working on themselves. Meaning they were not genuine in say, oh yeah, I'm going to pay the price and I'm going to transform myself. Not really an issue.
Yeah.
So this is the homework for next time. It's a congratulations, yes. Intellectually, I am willing to pay the price. It's worth it 100 times. Okay, how do I know that this is for real? How do I know that I'm genuine? How do I know that it's not just intellectual?
It's by describing the pain.
Whatever might be the case, there is no right or wrong, different vocabulary, you know, whatever. Let me give an example, okay? Somebody would say, I am willing to pay the price. Okay, how do you know it's true? And somebody's going to write, it's just an example, but they're going to say, because it's not fair and I'm not accepting that my father is dictating my life. This is an emotional answer. This is not technical. Make sense? You have feelings into the description. I'm not allowing my father to control my life. Make sense?
Yeah.
So there are emotions in here like, oh, my father, now it's in my mind, my father is not going to step on me anymore. I'm not going to allow it because for me this is absurd that my father still controls my life. I don't deserve this. I mean, there is no right or wrong anyway, but and this answer takes some time. You need to, because it's personal, right? If you come back next session and say, oh, because I don't want my father to control me, you just copied the answer I gave you. It's just so fine, you know.
So yeah, I see myself that what also write it down before.
If I can help you, paying the price, it's personal to you. It's your personal story. It's not a concept. Yeah, it's working on myself. It's worth 1,000 times. This is a concept from the motivational books. Nothing wrong with the concept, but how do I know that I'm genuinely, I must have an answer that it's personal to me, personal to my story.
Is it possible that I want to be successful?
No,
It's
I want to be successful,
it's
it's intellectual. Everybody wants to be successful.
yeah, I don't know how to
No,
describe more.
it's don't worry, this is not for, we cannot discover in 2 minutes what we didn't even know that exists for the last 20, 30,
So
40
what
years.
I need to ask myself, it's like, why, basically, why do I want this?
No,
Why,
how do I know? You already made the decision. Yes, I'm ready to pay the price. Now, how do I know that it's genuine? How do I know that it's for real? How
okay.
do I know that it's not intellectual answer?
Okay.
And whatever you're going to describe, there is going to be personal story behind the answer. It's going to be a personal motivation, whatever might be the case. There is no right or wrong. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
So before you go to the book, have a paper and put a line in the middle, and on the left side you're going to write old self feed, and on the right side you're going to write new self feed.
So it's when I do this all the new self feed, it's like
I'm going to explain to you. So you're going to do this every day, and you're going to measure it by the sentences that you write. Okay? Now just an example, if you catch yourself thinking like, oh, I'm so stupid, why I shouldn't change my strategy. So this is the old self feed, right?
mm-hmm.
Now on the right side, you need to write the polar opposite.
Okay, just opposite.
So what is the opposite of, oh, I'm so stupid, I shouldn't change my strategy?
It's totally okay for changing strategy if you are discovering yourself, like what is aligned with your personality.
You need to change the judging, I'm so stupid.
Uh-huh. It's smart to change strategy
No,
if it doesn't.
see, it's not smart. I am smart.
Uh-huh.
So you need to change, you're changing yourself. I am stupid, it's a self, it's the self
Uh-huh.
construct.
It's I am. Yeah.
Now you need to say, if I'm stupid, then I'm
I'm
successful,
smart.
I'm smart.
Yeah. It's not I will still feel myself stupid, but it's smart to do this, but I'm still stupid. Yeah. So I
This
need
is,
to say
this is, going,
I
this, is,
am.
this is going to take some time because you have a program running in the homeostasis, but with repetition,
Mhm.
and the subconscious mind, psychocybernetics, the subconscious mind doesn't know the difference between what is real, what is not. But if you're going to keep the feed, I'm smart, I'm smart, I'm smart, I'm smart, and from thinking, the next thing is going to be, with the book of Neville, is going to be, you need to also act. Not just like, it's not just wishful thinking. I need to be that person. I need to act like that person. Makes sense? But it starts with the step number 1, if you want. It's change the feed.
Okay.
And remember, you are feeding two realities: your subconscious mind, and you're feeding the environment.
Mm-hmm.
Now listen to this. If I am you, and I'm going to say, all right, I'm just thinking, oh man, I'm so stupid. Why did I change the strategy? And say, oh, I cut myself, and I'm writing down the old self, and I'm writing down the new self. Oh, I'm so smart that I changed my strategy. I'm so smart that I have a better strategy. I'm so smart that my strategy is winning. But then my wife comes home, and at dinner, I'm telling my wife, honey, man, I'm so stupid. I shouldn't change my strategy 2 years ago. What am I doing?
You're feeding environment.
Exactly. The subconscious is feeding something, but the environment, the reality, I forgot I'm feeding something else.
Mm-hmm.
So it's still a no-go. Our life changes when we start simultaneously feed the two realities in a different way. Meaning, I cannot complain anymore. I cannot say bad things about this anymore. Oh, but it's true. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Because if you're going to continue with the same feed, guess what? You're going to have the same
Result.
reality 5 years from now. Your life is not going to change. It's impossible. You are in the matrix, the same matrix. You need to change the feed if you want to change the reality. And it's going to take some time. And you need to change both of the feeds, not just subconscious. You need to change how you feed the environment, and how you feed the. And you are going to measure this by the number of the sentences that you. So the progression, right? Let's say that today it's Wednesday, right? Let's say today I had one feed. What are my big case? I have one feed, one old self, one new self, right?
Mm-hmm.
Thursday, 15. I was very conscious. I wake up with this purpose. This was my biggest goal of the day, just the feed. I was very conscious.
Sorry, just one question. I do this daily.
Yes.
Like you try to identify what your feed on the daily basis was, and you reprogram, and then you also rereading probably.
You don't need to read, but you need to get conscious about the negative self feed, and then you fight it with the new.
Okay.
Feed, right?
Okay.
But as I told you, if Wednesday you have one feed, Thursday you have 15, Friday you have 2, Saturday 2, Sunday 0. What does this mean?
That you are impulsive, that in Thursday something happened.
Yes, but also it means that it's like the average, how long it's going to take me. This means that on Thursday I was very aware of the feed, so I fight it. It's new self. But on Sunday maybe I was tired, I was not focused, I was not aware. Saturday,
so it should be like big at the beginning, like you are increasing because you are getting aware.
There is no such rule. It's every day it's different. But if you go to one per day, just we need to be aware that, oh shit, it's going to take me 10 years to change.
Yeah.
Example.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
There is no rule in the books of psychiatry, psychology, how many. It's how aware I am.
Yeah.
Now there is also good news. What's the good news? If I have 5 feeds and I identified all of them, just an example, then I don't need to do this homework forever, because I'm just going to read and read and read and reread and going to put other information in my subconscious. But this exercise, it's so far when I'm still discovering what is the fit, what are the words that I'm using, what sentences, and how am I judging myself. You know, I go on vacation with my wife and I feel guilty because I lost cryptos. I shouldn't spend this money on vacation. I should save it and invest it. Example, not just that. I'm judging myself. I'm still there. I'm the old self in the old reality. But this is how you reprogram. You know, it starts with step number one. You need to change the feed, but you can only change the feed that you are aware of that. Otherwise, it's the book about what's the word? Affirmations. Yeah, I'm rich and happy. I'm rich and happy. I'm rich and happy. Nothing changed. 5 years. So I'm rich and happy. You are not finding anything. You are feeling something different. Does this make sense?
Makes sense.
All right. Any questions so far?
No.
Okay, let's go to Naval Book, page 13. You start.
13, yes. The chapter 2.
Yes, correct.
Consciousness. It's only by a change of consciousness, by actually changing your concept of yourself, that you can build more steadily medicine than manifestation of higher and higher concept. By manifesting is meant experiencing the result of this concept in your world. It is of vital importance to understanding clearly just what consciousness is. The reason lies in the fact that consciousness is the one and only reality. It is the first and the only cause substance of the phenomena of life. Nothing has existence for man save through the consequence he has of it. Therefore, it's to consciousness you must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained. If we accept the idea of the first cause, it would follow that the evolution of that cause could never result in anything origin to itself. That's it. If the first cause substance is light, all its evolution, fruits, and manifest would remain light.
Okay, let's stop for a second. Teacher, what does this mean? It's only by a change of consciousness, by actually changing your concept of yourself. What does this mean? It's only
So
by a
if
change of consciousness, by actually changing your concept of yourself.
it's mean that's the only way you change your life, it's through your consciousness. So change your what you think.
Can you change what you think if you are not aware about what you think?
No.
No. This is what this means. You know, it's only by a change of the feed. But to change the feed, I need to be aware of the feed. Make sense? I cannot change some. Dr. Kappa said best. How can you change something that you are even know you are not aware that it exists? So I need to get aware about the feed first. What am I feeding in the subconscious? What am I feeding to the environment? Okay.
Okay.
Next, the reason lies in the fact that consciousness is the one and only reality. It is the first and only cause, substance of the phenomena of life. What does this mean, this sentence?
So the consciousness is the one and only reality. It is the first and only substance of the phenomenon of life.
It's the cause. What causes our problems is the
Subconscious.
conscious, right?
Consciousness.
It's our concept of ourselves. There are no secondary cause like, oh, it's his fault, it's the father, it's the mother, it's the market, it's the strategy, it's the wife, it's the dog. It's me. I'm feeding the realities, right? Nothing has existence for a man save through the consciousness he has of it. What does this mean? Nothing has existence for a man through the consciousness. I'm going to help you. This is difficult stuff. It says that if I'm not aware about something in my world, it doesn't exist. I cannot work on a behavior, attitude.
If I don't know if there is.
Exactly. Therefore, it is consciousness you must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained. So if you look, if you people who study this kind of stuff, you can talk to some people, friends and family, and if you listen carefully, their life is going to make total sense on the negative side and on the positive side. If you can pay attention to what they are saying and how they're saying, you're going to find the feed. You go to a friend that it's depressed, and you drink coffee, and you debate, and he's going to start, oh, life is difficult now. The government is doing this and this, and my boss didn't give me the raise, and everybody, just want money from me, and Slovenia is shit, and compared to somebody, wow, I believe I'm going to give job to 5 more people. We're expanding our business. We made $1 million yesterday. Just pay attention what the guy, you're going to see your family too. If you have a family that is poor, middle class, or rich, just pay attention on the feed, how they're feeding the environment, and you are the environment. You have older people, not judging anybody, everybody has different story, but you have older people, oh, life is so difficult, and God doesn't love me, and it's hell on earth, like religion wise, whatever it might be, and oh, it's doom and gloom, and there is the Antichrist going, and there is Lucifer, the religious people, and then you see the man or the woman, how they live. That's the feed. They're always scared, and oh my gosh, and they are negative, and they just see everything is bad. But basically, they live like a scared life. And we don't want to argue with anybody, because this is not the point. Oh, it's true, it's not true. It doesn't matter, because what we're looking at, it's the feed. I'm ignorant on religion, and what I don't have the time to. How do I say, oh, this is correct, this is not correct, or I'm right, I'm wrong? I have no clue. But I can identify the feed of the woman or the man and see, oh, this is why they live the miserable life, and they are scared. Example. This is why it says, therefore it is to consciousness you must turn, for it is the only foundation on which the phenomena of life can be explained.
It basically say that you need to turn the consciousness if you want to.
Let's have some fun right now, me and you. Is your father rich, poor, or middle class? More or less.
Yeah, middle class,
middle class. So through his life, did he suffer, or he had an easy life, or he was always suffering and laboring and hard work and
suffer?
Okay. And when you were a small child, what did he tell you about life? or maybe not just you directly, just in dinner conversation or family meetings or family lunch, family dinner? What did he
Yeah, was
tell
that
you guys? Come again?
yeah, it was that I need to study, that I
It
will
was,
don't
no,
I will not.
he was not talking to you about you. He
I
was talking in general about life.
I don't remember basically, but it was like I see that I don't see. I don't remember, but I see how
I'm going to help you. Don't worry, don't help you. So, did he tell you guys when the family was together, it would lunch, dinner, or picnic, whatever, or your father, friends, and family, whatever? Did he tell, "Oh, life it's so easy, life it's beautiful. Oh, my sons, life it's nice. We have a great life, everybody. You know, just milk the cows."
well. In the past, it was not like this. It was so. In the past, I don't really remember him complaining about life, but I see the past maybe 5 or 8 years. He is more positive, like God damn it, what beautiful lives we live. What that the easy never have been easier like now. The life has never been easier right now. He's more feeding like this stuff, right? The couple, but he's complaining a lot about government and how much is the taxes and everything. Yes, but on the general, he's like, look at this. How good do we live?
Is your father retired?
Yes.
Okay, so it doesn't count. It must be the feed when he was working, the working years.
Yeah.
Because generally what we can find is that the feed that our parents tell us that this is the life they live.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yeah,
retirement.
okay. Well, my parents kind of making own business the couple of years. Like we have rooms and apartments at home, and they're building they're kind of successful more and more. Couple of years, and my father was also working the past 10 years from home at home, and since then it's the mentality. I think it's changed. It was like the more the good stuff.
Good. That's good. That's good. So
As I remember, I don't see
yeah,
himself like.
people do improve, they change, sure. But the meaning point is from the book, you know, it's the if you hear what people tell you and you are the environment that they feed, basically you're going to see how they live.
Yeah.
Makes sense? If somebody says, "Oh, life is difficult," and that you need to suffer and work hard, meaning work like laboring and suffering, you know, then you're going to see they are going to work hard and labor, and maybe they're having results, but life is difficult for them. And you are the environment that they're feeding with this. You from the things they talk about, you're going to have an idea, not to the millimeter, but you're going to have an idea, you know, about how they live. Make sense?
Makes sense.
On the other side, take a fully totally negative person or fully positive, you know, and you're going to see different realities and different feeds, how they talk to people.
Yeah.
Talking about money, it's all around the world. Me and you too have different stories, most likely, or you know, back in time we were studying this. Me and my wife, I had always money. It's easy to get. I don't know where the money is going to come from, but it's going to come and it's going to come easy. It always does. My wife, now today it's a different person, you know, she grew up. But back in time, like 10 years ago, oh, money is difficult to get. Make sense?
Makes sense.
I got clients and business partners from God, and she was fighting and laboring, and you know, I never had problem with people, like nothing serious, you know. And compared to somebody, you know, it's always problems, you know. Somebody, the client, it's not going to do the deal. The client signs the contract, but then he breaks the contract. The client doesn't pay, and so on and so on and so on. because this is the feed we are feeding the environment.
Mm-hmm.
And if money is hard to get, the way how I do things, meaning,
Yeah.
am I going to write my contract? If you take two people in the same business, like, they're selling shoes or television, whatever, and both of them are going to give the contract to sign to the client, those two contracts are going to be totally different. Not from the lawyer. They build the contract. One, it's gloom and doom. It's, oh shit, if this happens, this happens, this happens, you owe me the money, you need to give me the money back. This one, because money is not a problem. Said, okay, if something happens, you don't need to give me money back, but otherwise, it's a different contract. Makes sense?
Mm-hmm.
Now here this guy is going to scare clients.
Yeah, by complaining, and it makes sense.
It's like I'm buying a car and I'm financing the car, and the contract says, oh, if you get sick, you need to get back the money. If you don't pay one installment, you need to give back the money in the car. It's everything. It's like they're exaggerating on the negative side. I'm going to say, oh, I'm the client. I say, shit, I'm not signing this contract.
Mm-hmm.
If I get sick, I need to give you 3 times more money back. Hell no. So I'm going to decline the offer. But that guy is going to, see, it's difficult to get money.
Yeah.
But he's producing the contract. He's producing the results and everything. We really do live in a conceptual reality about everything.
Yeah.
Because we produce the results, we have the attitudes, and so on and so on and so on.
Yeah.
And by changing the feed is going to, not in
Yeah,
one thing, but the more
I see a lot of this at my work, like these feeds about.
Tell me what they are telling you and tell me how they live. I'm curious.
Yeah. Example, it's also my feed. The past couple of months, it's like, oh, it's better to buy this. We all know how in our production made this, because like it will not be so good. It will be out of dimensions. It will be purely welded together, and so on and so on and so on. And also, if you go up in people, they say, well, I need to reject half of the parts that made here in company because it's nothing. It's according to drawing, and look what they made here, and so on. And basically, we are all doubting our production, basically.
Crazy shit, right?
Yeah, it's dangerous bit.
Now, try to help them, but it's difficult, right? Oh, you are
Yeah.
It's
me against 80 people.
you live in a conceptual reality. What does this mean? Is they're going to say, oh, you're crazy.
And example, it's one guy. I don't stand him. It's first word in the morning. It's fucking shit. I'm here again. Fucking weather. Fucking car. Fucking everything. It's fuck. It's, and I'm just like, what the hell? It's hello. How are you? What a nice day. Is it hard? I don't get it. But
it's the feed, man. It's the program.
Yeah, and
right.
I avoid these people.
Sure. Page 14. Now it's me. The first cause substance being consciousness, all its evolution, fruits and phenomena must remain consciousness. All that could be observed would be a higher or lower form of variation of the same thing. In other words, if your consciousness is the only reality, it must be the only substance. Consequently, what appears to you as circumstances, conditions, and even material objects are really only the product of your own consciousness. Do you believe this?
Yes, because
that's so good. If you believe it's,
Yeah.
If people say no, I don't believe, then we need to work on it. Moving forward, nature then as a thing or a complex of things external to your mind must be rejected. So there are no causes. You are doing this. You and your environment cannot be regarded as existing separately. You and your world are one. Therefore, you must turn from the objective appearance of things to the subjective center of things, your consciousness, if you truly desire to know the cause of the phenomena of life and how to use this knowledge to realize your fondest dreams. One more time. Therefore, you must turn from the objective appearance of things. So when you look at people, right? Look at me, Mattia. So I must change how I see the word. This is Bob Proctor's knowledge, by the way. We tend to quantify and see the world through our senses, like what we see, what we touch, what we taste. Basically, you see a Porsche, and you see, oh, this guy, it's a millionaire because he was stealing money, or he's as entrepreneur, whatever. But we don't think like, okay, so what is he feeding in his reality? So we might get away the external results, the buildings, the yachts, the Rolex watches, the external things, even this hat. This were produced from the concept of the guy's concept of himself. It's the inner feed of things. Make sense? The guy who produced this hat, if he would be low self-esteem, hats are no good. We don't need the hats. Would not produce the hat. Make sense? How do buildings appear? You know, all the things that we have, cell phones, monitors. Why somebody building a block or a hotel and somebody else sits a waiter? Those guys who are building things, they are feeding a different reality compared to somebody who is destroying things or being a waiter, not judging waiters. Yeah. It's not about the profession, but we must understand that everything is produced from inside to the outside. You maybe you're lucky, you know, but still there is an awareness behind. Let's say that you win in a lottery, or your uncle is rich and he give you the Porsche. Well, you still attracted it. If you would tell your uncle to fuck off, he would not give you the Porsche.
Yeah.
But the things that we see, it's being produced from the inside to the outside. So things has causes.
Things.
Yes, things.
Things
produce. Sorry, wrong English. Things were produced from causes. Things were produced from causes. What is the cause that produced this thing? Things were produced.
Things, you mean like thinking?
No, things like material things. Material things.
Yeah. Now, yeah. Basically, things were produced from inside out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nothing produces itself.
Agree.
Makes sense? So one more time. Therefore, you must turn from the objective appearance. It's only appear real appearances to things to the subjective center, which is the way how people think, who produce the cars, the planes, the iPhone, whatever. You know, your consciousness, if you truly desire to know the cause of the phenomena of life and how to use this knowledge to realize your fondest dreams. Well, we're learning like this, you know, how to use the knowledge. I need to change the feed is the step number one. In the midst of, come again?
Can you repeat?
Which one?
We learn I lost you. We learn. We learn what you say, something that I didn't hear.
I don't remember.
Okay, forget about it.
Oh yeah, that we are learning that the what we produce things from what we feed. You're learning right now. This is
Okay.
going forward. The text, in the midst of the apparent contradictions, antagonism, and contrasts of your life, there is only one principle at work, and only your consciousness operating. Difference does not consist in a variety of substance, but in variety of arrangement. The difference how you think differently of the same cause substance, which is your consciousness. So he's saying basically, in the midst of the apparent contradictions, antagonism of life, the drama, then it's only your consciousness that's doing this, you know? I'm not good enough. I'm not good enough at anything. People don't like me. Makes sense? And there is the drama, and people don't like him or her, or those guys are changing jobs from 1 week, and people are bad, people steal, people are, you know, it's the bad programming from people. Of course, I'm not going to be in the same job for 5 years. I'm going to change jobs on the monthly basis. And I'm going to have no money, nothing to eat, you know, poor family, everything. And I'm going to say, oh, the world is like this. The drama, I'm making the drama. But you don't understand. It doesn't matter.
You're making the drama.
Exactly. We're not here to fight what is true, what is not, and what is better, what is worse. We're trying to get an understanding that what I'm feeding back here, you know, and some students, people, clients come to me and they say, I prefer to be in the same reality rather than to lie to myself. Well, good. If you're happy, I'm happy. Make sense? So they're not willing to pay the price. They prefer to be right, and which is nothing wrong, by the way. I'm always saying, no, if you're happy, I'm happy. But it's your life. Make sense? And moving forward, the world moves with motiveless necessity. By this is meant that it has no motive of its own, but is under the necessity of manifestation. Your concept, the arrangement of your mind, and your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent is true. Mattia, what does this mean? That your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent is as it's true.
It's so it's what we see, or what we believe, or what we feed, and this is the image we create, and this is this is how we see, and this is also our reality, and this is also true because we make it true.
I'm just going to tweak a little bit. So what you feed is based on what you believe and what you consent as true. What you feed is based on what you believe and consent as is true. Let me give an example. If I believe that life is difficult, can I think, or am I going to think subconsciously? Am I going to think that I'm successful?
Can you repeat? Sorry.
Sure. If I have a belief that life is difficult, or life is extremely difficult, what is the chance that I'm going to feed my subconscious that, oh, I'm a winner, I'm successful?
Never.
Low chance, right?
Yeah.
This explains that the feed comes from the beliefs. So the homework becomes, Mattia, write down, try to identify what are your beliefs about yourself, what are your beliefs about yourself as being successful, if you want. What are your beliefs about the country that you live in? And what are your beliefs about life in general?
Okay.
Okay, there is no right or wrong anyway. And so difference does not consist in a variety of substance, but in a variety arrangement of the same substance. And moving forward, so your concept, the arrangement of your mind, and your mind is always arranged in the image of all you believe and consent as true. Basically, this is your self-image.
Mm-hmm.
The rich man, the poor man, the beggar man, or the thief are not different minds. You are the same person, but different arrangement of the same mind. So different ways of thinking, different thoughts. In the same sense that a piece of steel, when magnetized, differs not in substance from the demagnetized state, but in the arrangement and order of its mode. Okay, we're going to stop in this sentence anyway, page 14. So just one more time, what it's trying to explain, Neville, is that you have, and they made tests.
Mm-hmm.
They took 3 people, 4 people, different parents, of course, but they live in the same neighborhood, same primary school, same high school, same university, and they are working at the same store, the same job. Everything is the same, basically. Different
Okay.
wife, of course, you know, but talking about skill, everything is the same. Their skill the same. Their appearance, it's more or less the same. So genetically, they're 99% like taller, you know, whatever. In about 5 years, one got the Lambo, fully rich, prosperous. The other one got fired. Same company, same boss.
Yeah.
Same floor. So this is what Neville is trying to explain. No, it's not the different environment. It's the feed. The mind is one. We have one mind, right? It's my mind, it's your mind. But this mind, depending on what I'm going to feed, I can become a thief, I can become a beggar, I can become a poor, I can become middle class, or I can become rich. Because depending on what I'm going to feed, step number 2, when the subconscious kicks in. Before the subconscious kicks in, I need to use the will. I need to do something conscious. But when the subconscious it's going to kick in, I'm going to start to act differently. I'm going to start to do things differently. Make sense? Talking about trading, if you want, you know, somebody who is a victim and it has a feed that, oh, it's game over, I'm too old, whatever the negative feed, right? Compared to somebody, it doesn't really matter. You know, the guy could be 80, but it's positive and, yeah, I can do this. I'm going to do this. I love this. I enjoy this. I am a professional trader. If he can do this, I can do this. I know, I understand. It's a learnable skill. Those 2 attitudes, what are those 2 guys going to do on a daily basis? Is going to be totally different. This guy in here, not judging anybody, it's a class, but this guy in here is going to, it's not going to read books. He's going to give priorities to the gym, walking the dogs, spending the time with family, which is nothing wrong, but giving the priority is the key word. This guy is going to also walk the dogs and spend time with the family, but after the job. So every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, they live a life totally different. They're trying to do the same thing, but they are the how to. It's totally different how they act. Make sense? So in 5 years from now, come again?
It's different on the beliefs they have.
Exactly. So five years from now, they're going to be live two totally different realities in terms of trading, if you want. Does this make sense?
Makes sense. Because I see in my old job, there's still one guy that's complaining a lot, like my boss doesn't like me and everything and blah 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 blah. But he's always late. He goes on the smoke when he's not allowed. He's not productive and everything, and he's making his beliefs the reality.
Exactly. But this reality started from where?
From I don't know.
Great question. Look how is this interesting. Me and you, we are the first day at our new job, okay? And the boss comes. It's our first day. We don't know anybody. And the boss comes and says, fuck this, fuck that, as you said, fuck this bitch, fuck, and the boss tells me and you guys, you all go to hell. So this is something that happened. Michael is going to say, poor boss, what happened with him? So, I mean, let's help the guy, And I'm going to go there and say, oh, hello, I'm new here. Can I help you, whatever? Marco or Matitz is going to say, oh, the boss doesn't like me. So it starts with thinking. It starts with thinking.
Yeah.
Me and Matitz, we are new because we had exactly the same experience, but my reaction in terms of thinking was totally different from Matitz's thinking. And tomorrow comes, I'm going to say, yeah, I love the guy, I help the guy, and most likely the guy is going to love me because in the end we left and we drink a beer together and something. Matitz is going to come down, he's going to be late because he's coming to the job. Oh, and Matitz start to feel the environment. He's going to tell to his wife, oh, the boss, man, it was my first day and the boss already doesn't like me. Matitz start to feed the environment. It's feeding himself, it's feeding the environment, which is the wife. And Matitz come home, the wife, oh, honey, how was the day? Like poor victim, poor Matitz, the boss, and it's game over. It's game over. So how we react to the things that happen to us, it's also a construct. It's a mindset. I'm not going to say that everything it's easy. It's not, but let me give you an extreme example before we finish. Parents who their children died, whatever the age. So this is difficult stuff to talk about, but I have my experiences. I've seen some friends and family losing children, not young children, adults.
Yeah.
And some parents said, the feed was, life is unfair. Why this happened to me? God doesn't like me. Which is totally understandable. The other guys, they said, oh, they find grace in God. They were like, it hurt. It both were hurt, like crying, and But the other couple went into gratitude and talking into a spiritual way to God, and they overcome this with gratitude. Thank you, God, thank you, Lord. I'm not here to debate right or wrong. I'm just telling how was the same thing happened, but the different feed, the way how they think. Crazy, huh?
Yeah.
Now, of course, it's easy for me to knock on the door, on the wood, but it makes all sense. And again, we're not judging anybody. We're just trying to understand.
And also the result was the different.
Totally. The two parents, again, we're not judging anybody. It's normal, right? But so the two parents, the last 20 years were dark and they didn't have a life. The two parents, after the period of mourning and suffering and crying, they still had a life, and a nice one, because they chose to think in a different way.
Yeah.
Okay, for today.
Okay.
Yes, a lot to think about and to learn about, and
yes.
What? But did you find yourself in these examples? Not children, but how you react maybe to circumstances that happen.
Yeah. Well, the most recent was the loss of the money. That I'm feeling guilty. Why I did this, and
Because
it's a lot of feed behind negative. But then I start now thinking like,
you're stupid. Of course you did this. You're stupid. It's written here.
And
joking.
I need to rewrite the feed like, thanks God that this happened, because it realized me that I need to change or be better man or something.
Absolutely. Whatever you want to choose to think, right?
Yeah.
So when we change the feed, when we change the beliefs, like when we change the self-image, when you understand that I'm successful, it's the belief, and something bad happens. If I'm successful, I cannot judge myself. It's simple as that. I can do anything else, but I cannot judge myself, and I cannot be a victim, and I cannot commiserate myself because I am successful. But it takes time to understand this.
Yeah.
And then to really.
Also, I'm always if something bad happened, I always try to think like, hell no, I will not allow to become a victim because one event, it's not worth it. So make a way to pass it and move on.
Next class, remember me, I'm going to explain to you the hero's journey.
What hero?
Hero's journey. The hero, the Batman, the Superman, the Wonder Woman, those are the heroes.
Hero of journey.
Hero's journey, the journey of the hero.
Okay.
Hey, boss.
I have an